Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I have a very interesting broadcast I'm going to be sharing with you all today. Hopefully this news is enough to get your attention as well. I know we talk about a lot of things on this channel. We talk a lot about the Bible, a lot about life, a lot about biblical prophecy, end times prophecy, all kinds of good things, right? We talk about it. Now, I feel like this deserves just as much attention as the rest of the stories, especially since the world has this idea about so-called black men that is not always favorable, right? We know it to be true. The world has one set of beliefs. Sometimes it seems like there's nothing good that they think about so-called black people, period, but especially about black men. And so I want to share this story with you all because it got my attention right away. These kinds of stories typically do. They get my attention because, again, the world wants you to think one way when it comes to black folk. But that is not what we are trying to ignore here. We like to present every aspect of our lives as a people. And one good thing to note about so-called black folk is that we have been able to bounce back so many times despite the foot on our necks. Now, a lot of people want to deny that there is a foot on the neck. They want to pretend like we're making it all up and that the playing field is level. But we know it's not. We know that it is not level. Now, if it was level, I think that's what bothers some people. Huh? Someone asked me, am I a Taylor Swift fan? I'm curious. Why are you asking that, beloved? No, I'm not, but I'm just curious. That just seems so random to me. Danita, you're asking, am I a Taylor Swift fan? Please enlighten me, help me to understand where that is coming from. Anyway, when you chime in, I'll look to see if you answer that. But anyway, yeah, we try to we try to keep it tight on this channel. And one aspect of things is that we as a people, we are very resilient. Now, not all of us, but for the most part, when you think about our situation over the past few hundred years, I mean, there have been, people just, you see how they did George Floyd, right? Now, imagine that in a spiritual sense. They have had that foot, knee, in the neck, in the back, the neck, everywhere you can think of, right? Huh? And our people still manage. We still manage to be here. We're still alive. Now, there are some so-called people, so-called white folk, who thinks that we wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for them. But they don't talk about, and I know this is kind of straying away from this subject, but they don't talk about the fact that if people weren't preventing us from doing things, then it wouldn't be as rough. For instance, if people weren't going over there to Africa, stripping it of its resources, maybe things wouldn't be so difficult. Okay? So, anyway, we're going to get back on the subject of how this man, he didn't believe at first that he could make that kind of money. Huh? But he has proved that he can. And what he did, I think, is just so amazing. Now, he has a main house, right, that he lives in. A main house that he lives in. I'm going to show you all where you can see the actual video of all of what he has going on with his house. He has a main house that he lives in. Okay. And First of all, he converted his garage into a tiny home. Then he built these other structures as well. I can't really play the video. I can only just I'm trying to get to certain images of it, right? Okay, there we go. And they are crammed back there, y'all. In the area that he lives in, he said he didn't think people would rent them, but they are definitely doing that. You know, he converted the garage. Then he got 2 smaller tiny homes that he put on the lot as well. And I said, wow. This was one of those definite wow moments, looking at how this brother pulled this all together and made this happen, right? And with the 3 units combined, he is making over $6,000 a month. $6,000 a month. Now, I thought to myself when I saw this story that this is definitely noteworthy. This is a noteworthy accomplishment. So I want to tell you all, you know, something that we have going on with teaching our children. Okay, teaching children is very important. Our 2 younger sons, Shem and Benjamin, they have been surprising us so much. So it is amazing. And their confidence level is just, it's through the roof. I'm loving it, right? I am loving it. Someone asked where all the space is connected. No, the 2 tiny homes are on wheels. Okay, so if he wanted to move them to another location, he could. Okay. Then the garage, I believe, is separate too from the house. So he has a total of 3 units that he's using. Okay. Our sons, Shem and Benjamin, we have taught them building skills, and we also allow them to take courses or have them take courses on carpentry and things of that as well. But what they have been doing is so amazing. These are the things that we need to be thinking about, family, thinking outside of the box. It is time for us to think outside of the box. Our sons, I'm sorry, not my brothers, but our brothers in general, when I speak of so-called black men, many of them have talents and skills. They just really need to plug into those, right? They really need to plug into those talents and skills. But our sons, Shem and Benjamin, they have been building structures that are amazing. They're working on a small cabin project right now at another one of our locations, and they've been doing the project, and I told them how I wanted it, but they've had some of their own ideas too, and for the very first time, they're doing a vaulted ceiling or cathedral ceiling, and everything is turning out really nice. We will share the project at a later date, but these young men are, I'm going to just use a little bit of slang here. They are kicking butt on this project, right? They are just really, really doing an excellent job, and we are so proud of them, and they are handling their business on the project. And I thought about them when I saw this guy and what he is doing. Okay, when I saw the fact that he is building, or he's had, I don't know if he built them or if he had someone else build them, but he put these tiny homes on his property, and he's making income from it. Making income from it. He is making $6,000 a month. Now, he said in the video, let me go back and show that again so that you all can see it where it is. But the thing that got me was, okay, here it is right here. He said this is his sole income. If you want to see it, you can look at Tiny House. The channel is called Tiny House Giant Journey. Tiny House Giant Journey. Okay, that's what it's called. And what he is doing is fabulous. Okay. The name of the video is Smart. He converted his backyard into a hotel, and he makes $6,000 a month. So when you all get a chance, check out that video so you can take a look at his whole setup. It is really nice. He is a brother, in my opinion, who have said, look, I'm not going to let nobody keep their foot on my neck. I'm going to get out here and do, despite what people may think about so-called black people. He said, hey, let me tell you something. I'm going to handle my business. I got to take care of myself. He turned his backyard into a hotel, and he's making enough money to where this is his sole income. He said this is his sole income. And so I am really happy for this brother. I'm proud of him. In terms of what you need to do for your own particular area, every community is different. Okay? You have to find out, someone asked about permits in the chat. You have to find out what is required in your area. Okay? What are the permit requirements in your area? What size structures? I know for a lot of areas, if the structure is on wheels, the rules are more relaxed because they're mobile, right? And some areas are more strict. So you need to find out what it is in your community, in your area, to determine what you can do. Huh? Eve in the chat says he needs to pass on how we can do this. I want to better argue to inhale our people. Thank you so much for having these kinds of awareness programs and teachings. We love you. Stay safe. Yes. So basically, whatever community you live in, I don't know if this guy would answer something like that. I don't know if he has a channel or anything. The channel that I showed you is someone else who was featuring his project on their channel. Okay, so what you would need to do for your own self is in your city, your state, wherever you are, your county, find out what license or permit you may need, what size structures you can put, if they have to be permanent structures or if they can be on wheels, what are the laws concerning structures on wheels. Now, a word of advice for many of you. Let me see. Marigold says, fact, time to think outside of the box. We are everything that is perfect, but primarily our problem is discipline. Yes, that is true. We have to stay committed to something. That's what we as a people need to learn how to do. Stay committed to something, see it through. What we did is we started our sons off on building smaller projects, right? Of course, they started working with their father first. After working with their dad, then we began to give them projects on their own, right? Okay. I think they like those projects on their own where they can do some problem solving. There was a particular aspect of, now I did explain to them what I wanted with the small cabin they're working on now. It's going to be, for me, like a little prayer chapel, right? I wanted the cathedral ceiling, not only because I wanted the height in the center, but I wanted them to try out their skills. And so I found some videos that gave instructions on how to do the cathedral ceiling, and they were able to do it just perfect. But there was another aspect of it where it came out like a V in the shape of the trailer. And I was really happy to see how Shem and Benjamin figured it out on their own, how to accommodate that V shape in the front of the cabin. Give me one moment, family. This is my husband. I have to answer this. Sorry about that, family. Sorry about that. My apologies. He kept it very brief. So anyway, I would say anyone who wants to try this, start off with a small project. Okay, a very small, something very small. Start off with a dog house if you have to. I'm starting to see more and more women even building these tiny homes. Just for the record too, my husband and I both work with the boys on these projects initially. A lot of the flooring aspects I was able to work with them on. My husband showed them a lot of carpentry, and he's teaching them the plumbing and electrical as well. We both have taught them drywall and just a number of different things. The cathedral ceiling idea, we actually looked up videos on YouTube, okay? And I told them this is how I want this particular project, because there are different ways of doing it. But I said, look, this is how I want it. Shem has some ideas on doing that front part, and I just gave him, I said, hey, handle your business, man. You know, they like when I say that, when we say that, because then that shows the confidence that we have in the work they're able to do. You see, Ayo says they wish they can make one of these. Guess what, family? I bet you could. We have recorded as much of the project as we can, so I want at some point we are going to show you all the work that we've been doing, so that you can see it really isn't as difficult as it may seem, especially once you build the shell. The interior work, it just kind of, you know, yes, the interior work, laying floors and stuff like that, I feel like those are a little bit easier once you get the structure together. Okay, so our sons, they're teenagers. Shem is about to be 18 next month. Benjamin will be 17 in about 6 months, right? So that's right, we are preparing them for manhood. We're preparing our daughters for womanhood. We've taught them so many skills because we want them to not have to hire anyone if they can help it to do certain things, right? So I wanted to share this because even when it comes to income, this brother, he said, you know what, instead of complaining about not being able to do this, that, or the third, the brother, he said, I'm going to establish my own income. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I so love the project that this brother has. It is really amazing. I want you all to take a look at it for sure. Look at the video, see how the setup is. Everything is very tight. He doesn't have a whole lot of space, right? But it didn't even matter. He's always booked, and I'm so happy for him. You see, he is always booked. So I'm guessing he has them on probably Airbnb or Verbo or something like that. One of those, or who knows, maybe he has his own way that he books them. I don't know how he books them. All I know is that he makes that kind of money each month, and that is his sole income, and it is all on the lot where he lives. And this is something that anyone can do. I say start off with a small project first, right? A lot of people, they get the trailer first, and then they try to build their money back up. Then they get the lumber, and just take it a step at a time. Love in the chat says booked, busy, and prosperous. Yes, just take it a step at a time. I've seen also where some people will source free materials. You might be able to source free materials looking on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, or anyone in your area who is maybe throwing something out or tearing something down. There are all kinds of free materials, right? And then even if we don't have a present need for something, if we see someone selling a bunch of windows, we buy them. As a matter of fact, the cabin that they're building, the prayer cabin that they're working on for me, it has windows that we've had sitting for years, and some that we bought maybe a couple of years ago, right? And, doors, same thing. We will go and buy doors, windows, you name it. If it's anything to do with home improvement, farm work, any of that. We will buy those materials with the intention of using them at a later date, right? And they make for excellent projects. If you have children that are being homeschooled, it doesn't matter if they're young men or young women, whatever it is. These are great fun assignments that you can give your children. Later on, I might show you all an image that I had one of my adult children, Sophia, paint for me. It's a mural. And this mural that she painted is so beautiful. Every time I see it, I just want to scream, right? And it just is so beautiful, the things that children can. She's not a child, she's an adult, 25 years old. But when you put your children in a learning environment, they are going to discover all kinds of skills, talents, abilities, uncovering ingenuity. We see that in Shem. I call Shem and Benjamin MacGyver sometimes. Some of you all might be familiar with the old series MacGyver, right? Where he was always figuring things out and making things work. That's what we call the boys sometimes because, well, the young men. We've been canceling calling them boys as much as possible. Sometimes we slip because they are children, right? But our young men, when that ingenuity kicks in, sometimes they have us scratching our heads. It have us scratching our heads. Vince in the chat says, wow, they've been looking into building a tiny home community with my wellness medical devices that Yah gave me. Now I have a patent. Wow. That is something we had aspired to do as well. And the Most High willing, we want to have a place to, a peaceful place. I'll just put it to you that way. A place where a person can be in shalom. Whew! Because sometimes this world can just really weigh on your mind really heavily, right? That's one of the reasons why I wanted the young men to build me. I bought a small trailer, y'all. And I said, you know what? I want you all to take this small trailer and build mommy a little prayer chapel, right? Not only does it give me something, a place, kind of like a secret closet, if you will, but it gave them a project to work on. Brother Vince, we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it. You all can contact us on contact@watchmanreports.com, or if you're connected with us on Facebook, you can contact us there as well, or on our website, watchmanreports.com. We look forward to speaking with people on things like this. It's exciting to hear that our people are doing things like this. And of course, you will get conversation out of us about anything that's productive for our people. Absolutely. But yes, these projects, they give your children something to do, especially as they get older. Okay? As they get older, the boys have helped us put together a project that, again, we put a lot of it into their hands. They are interested in real estate. That is something that we used to do a long time ago, right? And they have expressed an interest in that too. And working with us in the ministry on various things, we are definitely gearing them up towards those things, because we already know that moving forward into the future, we are going to need to be able to do things. And our children are going to need to be able to do those things as well. As we age, as you all age, we have to prepare the next generation for what is to come, right? They have to be able to work with their hands. Someone shared a video with me concerning the next generation. Boy, oh boy, it was a trip, but it's something to think about. We talked about this before. If you're not preparing the next generation, what is the world going to look like when many of us have aged to a point where we can't do what we used to? If everybody is being raised a certain way, if the young people don't know how to do anything, we talked about the vanishing skills, how they are not replacing the older people who know how to do things, know how to build. If we're not teaching them and preparing them, what kind of world are we going to be living in? Brother Will in the chat says Mad Max Thunderdome. Woo! So if that's what we're looking, oh yeah. Arlene says even more frightening. We don't want the world to be a frightening place for our young people. So then that means we have to do our part in teaching them and training them, both in the physical and in the natural. Okay, I meant to say spiritual. So both in the natural and the spiritual, we have got to train them on how to navigate through all of this. That is what we must do. And I thought this story right here was very inspiring. From time to time, I see them, both our brothers and our sisters who are doing things like this, right? They are building. Some of them are building their own tiny homes. Some are just, handling their business. Huh? Demira says, Sister Deborah, I've been showing young kids in my neighborhood your videos. Can you do a few to help young people better in their life at this time? I would love to be able to do that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try my best to put more of that content on our other channel because we do feel that it's needed. We have a whole lot that we have already taken raw video footage, but editing, as you all know, takes a lot of time. It would be awesome if we can get someone to do a lot of that editing, but that's where the difficulty is, getting someone to do all of that. So I definitely would like to do that to the person who asked, because yes, our young people need something else to look forward to. That's right. So anyway, I just wanted to share this video with you all, hoping that it will encourage someone, or many of you perhaps, encourage you all to really, really think outside of the box. Learn how to build, even if it's a small project first. Go to YouTube University, right? Go there first and see what others are doing. I see women building all of the time, right? Making things. One young woman, I looked at a video the other day, she actually built her own tiny home. She built it. She cut the wood, she framed everything up. She had very, very little help, but she did it all. Y'all hear what I'm saying, right? And so that being said, I think we should approach things with a lot more confidence and not fear. A lot of times people will allow their fear to just talk them right out of starting something. They'll think about it, ponder on it for a minute, then they'll say, but, if, right? They'll just begin to say all of those things. And then before you know it, they've talked themselves right out of doing anything about it. Brother Sargent says he bought an acre of land last year and he's getting ready. I know that's right. Brother Will says that fear is nothing but demonic possession. Yeah, fear is a spirit that will keep you from doing things. It may not necessarily be a possession, but it can be a tormenting spirit that antagonizes you and infiltrates your mind to a point, to a certain point. You see, so yeah, that's right, Brother Chris. We definitely have to teach our teachable skills to the young people. That is something we must do. My husband and I have done that throughout our time together as husband and wife and parents, and whether we were living in an apartment or living on a farm, wherever, we have taught our children our skills. We are both artists. We teach them, we've taught them certain things, but their skills, in my opinion, have went past ours. You know, their artistic skills have shot past ours. And so that's why I had all the confidence in the world. I showed Sophia an image that I wanted her to paint as a mural. She did hers, you know, similar but quite different. She just took the idea, and when she transferred that idea to the wall, oh my goodness, like I said, whew. Whenever I look at the image, I want to scream. That's how beautiful it is to me, right? So yeah, we definitely have to think outside of the box in terms of skills, survival, all of that. Let me tell you, this year, the Most High willing, of course, we plan to take things to a whole new level with how we grow food. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? With how we grow food, we plan on taking things to a whole new level. Yes. Because we know stuff is being put in the food, it's being put in the drinks, it's being put in the air. And so if we can just do the best that we can and not make excuses or say that, no, we can't do it, or this is too hard. I don't even like to talk to people who talk like that. If a person is always talking about how difficult something is, or how, if it's something that has to be done, either you can talk about how difficult it is, or you could just at least make an attempt at doing it. Because talking about how hard something is not going to get it done. That's my thinking. Fresh Spring says that they are almost 60 years old and wanted to learn to build homes and have the desire, but fear has stopped them. But I encourage, absolutely. I'm glad that we can encourage you, family, because, you know, again, putting one foot in front of the other is all we can do. Start off with a small project first. Familiarize yourself with the tools, and you'd be surprised at what watching someone else do, you know, that will just kind of light a fire under you. Say, wow, you see, watching someone else, especially when you watch someone your age or someone younger or someone older, and you say, man, if they can do it, I know I can, right? And if you hear some of these people's testimonies, when I hear them say that, thank you very much, DSB, for the membership. When I hear someone say that they've never done this before, and then I see the end results of what they did do after they finish, it's amazing to me, especially when a person say they've never done it before. Now here they are, the finished product. Wow. So again, we're going to start thinking outside of the box, family. We're going to handle our business on this stuff. Sergeant says Home Depot has self-help classes, right? And then we look at a lot of YouTube. And you can also take courses on Udemy as well to learn a lot of things. Solar. Our sons have taken classes on solar. And then, of course, they've watched their dad, you know, installing solar. They've been helping with that as well. Our daughters, Sophia, helped her dad with solar as well. So all of the skills that we have in growing food, gardening, business, graphics, writing, whatever it is, we teach this and pass it on to the next generation, because these skills need to keep going. They need to keep going. Okay. Thank you, AB, for dropping the link to the channel in there for us. Thank you very much. Yeah, these skills need to keep going. We told you all that our well needed servicing, right? And when the well needed servicing, it came at a time where I had already been saying, hey baby, we need to have the boys take some courses on well maintenance, well installation, all of that, right? I have been saying this for some time, and then all of a sudden we had an issue come up with our well. Huh? Guess what? We learned so much just with having that issue with our well. We learned so much about repairing a well, running new lines, all of that, even installing a well. Now, depending on how deep something is, you would probably have to get a professional company, and depending on the state as well. Some states require that a licensed person does a well installation, but in terms of how to make it, we at least learned how to do it. And it's very interesting. If you want to learn these things, the information is out there. Huh? The information is out there. To Vince, asking the question is right there at the bottom of the screen. You should be able to see it right there. We appreciate the asking for the support of the ministry and what we do. But the Cash App information is right there on the bottom of the screen to the brother who was asking. But anyway, family, I am about to close out this video because I do have some others that I want to get into. Tanisha says some colleges, depending on where you live, offer non-credit courses in gardening, cooking, canning, and etc. And that's awesome information to know too, because you get to go there, I'm guessing, and put your hands into it versus just watching a video. But watching videos are nice as well. That's nice too, because you get to see others doing it. But it's also a great idea if there is a local college that will offer these courses where you can just go there and learn face-to-face, hands-on, right? That's great. Thanks again for your time, family. I may come before you live again. Not sure at this point. I do have some other topics I want to cover. But until the next video or the next live, I will see you on the flip side. We hope you liked today's topic. Please leave your comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share it like this video, and with that, we're out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.